Hello everyone and welcome back to today's video. So this one is going to be incredibly short. I couldn't find a whole lot and I could only find one photo of this person, so I apologize. But that being said, I still wanted to talk about them. I had seen their name on a lot of different true crime lists, like missing, unsolved, and all that. And I kept seeing their name over and over, so I just added them to my list knowing nothing. And I decided to look into it, and now I'm going to be telling you guys about what happened to Linton Walker. Like I said, there's not a whole lot, but I still wanted to tell you about him because he deserves to have his name out there and his story, or at least what we know of it. That being said, all the links I used for research will be down below, like always, and let's go ahead and get into this. So, Linton was a loving, loyal friend who had an infectious way of connecting with people. So, he was actually given the nickname Man when he was a child because he was short but he was strong. So, it's kind of like a quirky little nickname. He was extremely athletic and he was super competitive. He liked to play football, but he really, really loved playing baseball as a child. So he was often described as a prodigy, and he had even been scouted by Major League Baseball teams in high school. He was described as an all around just great guy, and people just loved spending time with Linton. He absolutely adored his children. He was a fantastic father. He had a great smile, a great sense of humor, and at the time he died, he sold Jordan brand clothing for work, which he had a lot of success with. Like he was very successful in his work and just in his own personal life. So he just had like a lot of great things going for him at the time that he unfortunately lost his life. So next, I'm going to tell you about how he died. Um, and then it's going to get really frustrating because then we basically have nothing else. So, Linton last spoke with his sister, Gina, on March 3rd, 2007, and they were talking about plans that they were going to have for the following day, and they were basically talking about the plans for him and his family to visit her home for a cookout to celebrate her daughter's birthdays, something that Linton would never miss. He never missed birthdays, holidays, anything special or like family kind of events. He was always there for. He was all about it. So this is something that he would absolutely show up for. While on his way home from a work meeting on March 4th, 2007, so the day of his niece's birthday parties, Linton was shot and killed by an unidentified suspect in the 5700 block of Lenox Avenue in Jacksonville, Florida. When family members realize that he's no longer responding to text messages or calls, they start to get really worried. So Gina contacts his girlfriend and some of his friends in an attempt to find him, but she's unsuccessful. And his body is later found near the then Lenox Court Apartments. I'm not sure what their name is now, but that is where his body was found. And that's basically like where our case ends. So it's been 17 years and the case is still unsolved, and it is now ruled a cold case. As far as I could find, there's been no progress. No progress. No progress has been made in his case at all. Now we could always say that maybe that they're talking to suspects, they're interviewing people behind the scenes, they're just not releasing anything. But as far as I could find, that they haven't arrested anybody, they haven't done any search or like interviews, they haven't done any they haven't tried to like find like a murder weapon, like where it could be, like who could be involved. As far as we know, we just don't know anything. And it's just wild that it's going to be about 18 years in March. So it's just kind of wild that we still don't know anything. And he has, his own children that are growing up without him, and they deserve some answers, as well as just all his entire family. It's just wild that they don't know anything, and it's been this long. But with that being said, I do have a couple phone numbers for you guys. There is a $3,000 reward for any information that leads to the arrest of, the people responsible in this case. But the phone numbers I have are for the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office at 904-630-0500 and the First Coast Crime Stoppers at 866-845-8477. So those are the phone numbers. If you have any information that could help in this case, please don't hesitate to call. There's no piece of information that is too small. And hopefully we can find some answers for Linton and his family. My heart goes out to them. Like, he just seemed like, from the descriptions, like just an amazing man. Like, he has this work that's going so well for him. He's a loving father. He loves his family. He was planning on going to his niece's birthday parties the very next day. Just something he wouldn't miss. And then he is murdered for seemingly no reason on his way home. And it could have just been a random thing. Maybe it was someone that had a problem with him. Honestly, we might not ever know if it's been this long, but I really hope that something happens and we get some answers. So let me know your thoughts down below. Thank you so much for listening to Linton's story. My heart goes out to his family, especially his children, that I'm not sure exactly how old they were at the time that they lost their father. But my heart goes out to them. I can imagine how it has to be. Just either maybe they never knew their father because they were so young, or maybe, they don't remember him that well because they were so young. I'm not exactly sure, like I said, how old they were, but either way, it has to be hard to grow up without a father and, just having to hear about him from the family around you. But hopefully we get some answers soon. Thank you guys so much for listening to a story. Again, I'm going to start rambling, and I will see you guys very soon. Bye, guys.